Okay, I thought that rather than writing about Actively Learn, I would just demonstrate how I have used Actively Learn this year to achieve my our department goal for English and actually go beyond that goal to implementing Actively Learn fully for this year and next year. Um, our department goal was to learn about Actively Learn and create one assignment for students to be involved in Actively Learn, to join a class, and to do an assignment in Actively Learn. Um, I did attend all the seminars and got pretty excited about this new resource. The first thing I did was I decided to try it out on my English 1010 class, thinking that they would be able to handle it and it'd be a good place to start. So one of the features, and it's kind of a new feature in Actively Learn, is for students to be able to add their own research, and that's what I did for English 1010. As they were researching, I asked them to include their own research. And as you can see, this is one of my students and two articles that he uploaded. So now I, as a teacher, can go in and see what my students are researching and also see how they're interacting with that research. And since this is a PDF, I can only see through this view notes feature, but I can see how he's commenting on the research. And that went over really well. At first, I wasn't able to see it as in the teacher view, but after talking to Actively Learn directly, they added that feature so that teachers could now view what students are researching and uploading there. So beyond that, my English, you can see I have three classes in there now: English 1010, English 12, and secondary reading. And I'm considering adding study skills because I think that would be a great, they'd be able to benefit from Actively Learn as well. In English 12, the fourth quarter, we're right in the middle of using Actively Learn every single week for the shorter readings that we've done. Um, the way that I have done this is that students are asked to do two things in Actively Learn. First, they're graded on the answers to the questions. So I have questions to grade right now. They're asked to answer questions and I grade that. And then they are also asked to, I've replaced I used to do a reading log for all of their readings and ask them to find their favorite quote, find passages that are confusing to them or striking to them, and look up unfamiliar vocabulary. Now I have them do the journaling assignment in Actively Learn directly. So in notes, I can see the notes that my students are leaving, and they get participation credit for their journal, and they also get credit for encountering and answering the questions along the way. So that's a little bit different the way I have students use Actively Learn, and I think it's working really well to replace both reading logs and it as a kind of a formative assessment to make sure students are understanding the text. And then they're later given a more of a summative assignment by way of a quiz that they're graded on to make sure that they are understanding what they're learning. And they're doing a lot better on the quizzes after having encountered all the information already in Actively Learn. For the fall, I'm working right now on kind of a big project, and that is replacing Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice and also A Tale of Two Cities, and doing all of that in Actively Learn for next year. And that is creating some challenges because A Merchant of Venice is just a blank play right now. There are no teachers have used it in Actively Learn yet. So I'm the first. So students have a hard copy in the past years with lots of scholarly annotations. And this year I'm going to have to go through and add all of that information in fresh. So that's going to be quite an undertaking for me. But I think eventually that will be worth it because of the fact that they'll be forced to stop, view the resources, answer the questions and make sure they're understanding the play before moving on. I'll also be doing the same thing with A Tale of Two Cities, and that is a challenge as well because A Tale of Two Cities, there is a version in Actively Learn, and it has a ton of stuff. So kind of the opposite problem is you can see there's 165 questions. And so the opposite problem is to figure out what's most important and also align the questions with what I'm going to be asking on the quizzes. For English 1010 in the fall, I'm also working on that in the workspace. The textbook is changing, so the new textbook is a lot cheaper, but it doesn't have any readings in it. So I'm going out and finding the readings myself in articles and adding them to Actively Learn, and so they'll be doing all of their reading of articles in Actively Learn, and we'll still use the smaller textbook for the instruction on how to summarize and write. So that is the future of Actively Learn. I'm really looking forward to next year to see how it goes with reading longer works of literature, and just to see overall, after a full year of Actively Learn, how the quality of mastery of text and writing and understanding hopefully will improve after a full year of that. And that's it. It's been a fun journey, and I really love this resource, and I'm glad that we were able to also share it with the rest of the school, and hope that other departments and teachers will be using it as well.